Hey, it's Michael here, and today's video is a first. My first ever streaming audit. Greg is a viewer of this channel. He cut the cable TV cord back in 2021. That's when he dropped Xfinity and switched to Hulu Plus Live TV. Now, he wants to get rid of Hulu Live. Greg says he's tired of paying $80 a month for a big bundle of channels when he only watches 5 or 10 of them. He's seen my videos where I talk about dropping a live TV service altogether to save money. But will he be able to do that and still watch all his favorite content? I'll help answer that question today. Let's get started. Here's a look at Greg's current setup, and Hulu Live makes up the majority of his streaming TV spending. That's his premium live TV streaming service. Hulu Live includes the Disney bundle, which Greg tells me is important to his household. That's regular Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus. On top of that, he subscribes to Netflix, Prime Video, and a niche service called Viki. Remember, Greg's goal is to drop his live TV streaming service. But to see if that's possible, I asked him to send along a list of the channels that he watches with Hulu Live. Turns out, it's only about 10 of the nearly 100 channels in Hulu Live's base plan. Now, Greg's list does not include his local channels. He gets them with Hulu Live, but Greg tells me he's open to using an indoor antenna to pick up his locals. That's a good start. Let's see what else we can do. First up on Greg's channel list is ESPN and some of its sister stations. Unfortunately, you cannot sign up for ESPN as a standalone service at the time I'm recording this video. But that option, it's coming in the fall of 2025. That new ESPN service will reportedly cost between $25 and $30 a month. Before then, in the fall of 2024, a new sports streaming service is expected to launch, and that will include ESPN's cable networks as well as ESPN Plus. And that service is expected to cost somewhere between $40 and $50 a month. TBS and TNT, they're next on Greg's list, and those two networks are expected to be included in that new sports streaming service launching in the fall. Another option is Max's BR Sports add-on. That'll get you live games from TBS, TNT, and True TV. This one requires a Max base subscription, and if you have Max, you know that the BR Sports add-on has been available free of charge for a limited time. That add-on is expected to cost $9.99 a month after the promo ends. Max is also a good alternative for the next channel on the list, and that's the Food Network. With Max, you can stream many Food Network shows on demand, but you don't get the 24/7 feed of the cable network. Discovery Plus, that's still around. It also has Food Network content, and its plans are cheaper than Max. The next two channels, Lifetime and Hallmark. The best alternative for these networks is another live TV streaming service, but not one with a high monthly price. Lifetime and Hallmark, they're included with Friendly TV, and that's less than $10 a month. Some households watch these networks seasonally, like during the holidays, so maybe this is a subscription that you could rotate. Hallmark Channel, by the way, is also included with a subscription to Peacock. Now to NFL Network, another channel with a lot of seasonal viewers. You can subscribe to NFL Plus and get NFL Network with either plan, and that includes the ability to watch on a TV set. But just know that much of the other NFL Plus content is limited to mobile devices. Now, we haven't talked about news yet, but here it is. CNBC is also important to Greg. It's too bad, but there's no affordable way to subscribe to only the CNBC network. CNBC Pro, which includes a live stream of daytime programming, that is $35 a month, or $300 when you pay annually. There is a lot of free CNBC content out there. That includes CNBC radio and podcasts, as well as the CNBC and CNBC television YouTube channels. There's one more channel on Greg's list, but let's stop for a second and acknowledge the ridiculousness of what I just shared. Greg watches only about 10 channels, but he would need a handful of streaming services to replace what he gets with Hulu Live or another live TV service. And in some cases, I wasn't able to provide another option outside of the bundle. The final channel on his list is NBC Sports Bay Area. That's a regional sports network only offered through pay TV providers. It does not have a standalone app like Bally Sports. A lot of people who reach out to me don't understand why their pay TV provider won't let them pay for the 5 or 10 channels that they watch and nothing else. Listen to what Philo CEO Andrew McCollum told me about that. This is from a couple years ago.
I am a believer in bundling. I think that versus the typical cable options, there does need to be more choice. Obviously we have a entertainment focused package. We have no problem with sports per se. Sports are great. the issue is not, should you be able to get sports? The challenge is, can you offer it in a way that doesn't force everyone to pay for it if they don't want it? So, for example, does that in the future look like a, non-sports package like maybe we have today, and then a sports package for people who want that content, and it includes those channels that bring a lot of cost, but also for the people that want them, provide a lot of value. And then maybe, I don't know, maybe news could be a category in and of itself as well. But still, I think some concept of bundling where you're not having to individually decide every channel and every service that you want to subscribe to and figure out on an ongoing basis what shows are where and which things you need to, subscribe to or unsubscribe from to kind of like create your optimal TV package. I don't think that really serves anyone best, including consumers. It's really complicated. It drives up cost because when you're subscribing to everything individually, the price is higher. And it just generally, makes everything a lot more complex than it needs to be.
Here's another way to explain it. Take a look at the estimated cost of Disney-owned channels for YouTube TV subscribers. This is from 2021, so the numbers are dated, but stick with me. Disney got around $15 a month per YouTube TV subscriber at that time. But if YouTube TV subscribers could select channels individually, nobody would pay for all 15 of the networks listed. And that means Disney would make a lot less money. The biggest risk of all would be losing the revenue for ESPN, which accounts for more than half of the $15 total from 2021. Remember, the way it is now, Disney gets that revenue from YouTube TV, whether you watch these channels or not. Bottom line, bundling works out best financially for the channel owners, and they're all trying to figure out how to navigate the shift to streaming. But in the meantime, they've made it very difficult for people who want locals, news, and sports to get everything they want outside of the bundle. That's why I've always said the best candidates for dropping live TV altogether are people who don't consume a lot of sports and news. Since Greg watches a lot of sports and some news, I think a premium live TV service actually makes sense for him. And his pick of Hulu Live also makes sense since he uses the Disney bundle. To save some money, Greg could consider pausing some of his on-demand subscriptions or downgrading to the ad-supported plans. And depending on viewing habits, perhaps he could pause the live TV service for maybe a month or two. For people who've cut the cable TV cord and switched to streaming, I know how frustrating it can be to see the prices go up. Greg switched from Xfinity to Hulu Live in 2021, and in that time, Hulu has raised its prices multiple times. But it's important to keep in mind that Xfinity has also raised prices, and it's very unlikely that you'd save money by going back to cable. Thanks a lot to Greg for this email, and if you've got any other solutions for him, leave them down in the comments below. Thank you for watching today, and I'll see you next time.